I don't know if it's creative, but it's interesting, at least to me, and I'll tell you, it certainly was this morning with my household, my 4 kids, that, and excuse them and forgive me, seemed more intrigued by this slide that we were working on than anything else related to this pandemic, because of their love for animals. We have 2 gorillas at the San Diego Zoo that now have tested positive for COVID-19. 2 that have been tested positive. We have another that's symptomatic. We're currently confirming the source of the infection and the strain. There is some question, did it come human to animal? That's being determined, and one has to respect that process and the adjudication of the facts. But nonetheless, it's just an area that's long been of concern, human to animal transmission, but our beloved gorillas, obviously, we are concerned about, and San Diego Zoo, best of the best. They've tested now formally 2 positive, but 3 are symptomatic, and we are likely to see more information about this in real time in the next hours, not just days. But I thought I'd just bring it up because, as I say often to all of you, what tends to resonate in my house, I want to make public to you in real time, and that's the update in terms of the status of these gorillas in the San Diego Zoo. So
from the basement.
CNN anchor Chris Cuomo is out of quarantine, recovered from COVID-19, and reunited with his family.
This is the dream, just to be back up here doing normal things.
Cuomo's 17-year-old daughter Bella has been taking care of the family.
My dad has corona, but he's going to be okay. He's actually doing really well right now.
And showed off the hazmat suit she used when checking on her dad.
Biggest program yet, a nationwide campaign to combat childhood obesity called Let's Move. $10 billion will be spent over 10 years with the goal of ending childhood obesity in a generation. And yes, it was a very snowy White House for our conversation. Now Michelle Obama's days are focused on helping to combat childhood obesity, launching a national campaign to get kids healthy. Tell us about this latest initiative concerning that.
The overall goal, Robin, is very ambitious. We want to eliminate this problem of childhood obesity in a generation. 1 in 3 kids are overweight or obese, and we're spending $150 billion a year treating obesity-related illnesses. So we know this is a problem and there's a lot at stake. So we know that we need to do something big and get moving on it. So we're launching a nationwide campaign called Let's Move because we need to get this done. My kids have to get up and move. They can't sit in front of the TV. I have my girls involved in sports because I want them as young women to understand what it feels like to compete and to win and to run and to sweat. That's all. This is about all of that as well.
It's very ambitious, and this is something I know that you are intent in seeing through. There are some people that say, I don't want anyone telling me what I should or should not
Absolutely.
eat.
Absolutely.
And they feel that it is personal responsibility and the government should not have a role. How do you respond to that?
I completely agree. There is no expert on this planet who says that the government telling people what to do actually does any good with this issue. So I completely agree. This is going to require an effort on everyone's part. So we have to have a tailored approach to this. We want to get parents information so that they can make good decisions. We want to improve the quality of food in our schools, and we want to make food more affordable and accessible because we have food deserts for more than 23.5 million Americans, folks who don't live anywhere near a supermarket, so they can't get access to good fresh produce.
A focus on simple, important changes, capping off a whirlwind first year in the White House. Now you're starting the second year.
Yeah.
Now instead of everybody looking back at the first year, you're looking ahead to the second year. But in looking back, this weekend, Sarah Palin at the Tea Party convention.
How's that hopey-changey stuff working out for you?
Needs a president right now. Throughout this time of crisis, Americans keep going, checking on neighbors, showing up to jobs as first responders, hospitals, grocery stores, nursing homes. Yes, it still takes a village. And we need leaders equal to this moment of sacrifice and service. We need Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Everyone has a story about Joe's caring and empathy. I remember him calling after my mother, Dorothy, died, and we talked about being raised by strong women. The best testament to Joe is how he's cared for his family. And how great is it that Dr. Jill Biden plans to keep teaching as First Lady. And Joe picked the right partner in Kamala. She's relentless in the pursuit of justice and equity, and she's kind. When her press secretary, Tyrone Gale, was dying of cancer, she dropped everything to be with him in his final moments. I know something about the slings and arrows she'll face, and believe me, this former district attorney and attorney general can handle them all. So this is the team to pull our nation back from the brink. But they can't do it without us. For 4 years, people have told me, I didn't realize how dangerous he was. I wish I could do it all over. Or worse, I should have voted. 100 years ago yesterday, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified. It took 7 decades of suffragists marching, picketing, and going to jail to push us closer to a more perfect union. 55 years ago, John Lewis marched and bled in Selma because that work was unfinished. Tonight, I'm thinking of the girls and boys who see themselves in America's future because of Kamala Harris, a Black woman, the daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants, and our nominee for vice president. This is our country's story, breaking down barriers and expanding the circle of possibility. And to the young people watching, don't give up on America. Despite our flaws and problems, we've come so far. We can still be a more just, equal country with opportunities previous generations could never have imagined. There's a lot of heartbreak in America now. And the truth is, many things were broken before the pandemic. But as the saying goes, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. That's Joe Biden. He knows how to keep going, unify, and lead, because he's done that for his family and country. So come November, if we're strong together, we'll heal together. We'll redeem the soul and the promise of our country, led by President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's good. We got the whole gang back together again, and I'm just glad to say Minnesota did it again. We found commonality amongst ourselves. I want to say a big thank you to the folks you see setting up here. Folks passionate, bring their leadership and their values to the table, and do so with a sense of decency and a sense of what's best for Minnesota. So Speaker Hortman, thank you. These long nights. Leader Gazelka, we're just grateful. These are hard, and I'm not telling anyone here, we're one of the 2 states with divided legislature, and if Washington is any model for that, this stuff should be impossible. But because of the leadership of the Speaker, of the leader, and their right hands on this with Senator Rosen and Chair Moran, and of course my partner in this, Lieutenant Governor, and all of us will take questions. With that, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everybody. So this budget agreement that we've reached today is a path forward for Minnesotans. The COVID-19 pandemic has defined the past 14 months for all of us, both politically and personally. Everyone has felt the impact, but we haven't all felt it equally. And as we reach the end of this very long winter and talk about recovery, we must focus our attention and investments on those who have been hit the hardest. Our schools and students, our small businesses, and our working families. I'm especially proud that we have secured a historic investment in education that lifts up our young people who have been so resilient during these past 2 school years. Thank you to all of the voices who have kept pushing us for a budget that doesn't just get us back to normal, but gets us back to better. We've shown once again that there is more that unites us than divides us. And Minnesota can lead with compassion and with care for community. It is who we should aspire to be. We found a way to work across lines of difference for the people that we serve, the people of Minnesota. So today is a good day. And with that, I'll hand the mic over to Leader Gazelka.
Well, good morning. I think it's still morning. We worked late into the night, and sooner or later we had to come to a place of what we're going to set for targets. It's never, ever easy when you have divided government. It seems like it's going to be impossible. As we began the year, we said, look, we're not going to raise taxes. We're going to focus on recovering from COVID. And with that, Speaker Hortman will make her comments.
Well, you've seen this movie before, and you know how it ended. The sequel is pretty similar to the original. Here we are at the end of session. We're going to be going into a little bit of overtime, but you have 3 people who basically respect each other and are able to work well together despite huge ideological rifts between them.
We said these are things we can do, and we will finish them. So thank you.